For our explainer today, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to hear a story from the perspective of someone who lives inside every single one of us, an ancient microscopic engineer who has something it really wants to say, and it's time to set the record straight.
Hey there, you've probably heard of me, maybe way back in science class. My name is Mitochondria. I live inside your cells, and look, we need to talk about my nickname. Calling me the powerhouse of the cell isn't technically wrong, but it misses the entire picture. I mean, it's a massive oversimplification. So it's about time you heard my full story. To start, we have to get past that nickname. We need to understand where I really came from. And trust me, it's a tale that goes back more than 1 billion years. My story begins long before plants, animals, or, humans ever existed. It's a story of survival, of partnership, and of a single deal that literally changed the entire course of life on Earth. Okay, so picture this. About 1.5 billion years ago, I was just a single bacterium, doing my own thing, floating freely in the ancient seas. Then, one day, a much larger cell came along and just swallowed me whole. But here's the twist. Instead of becoming lunch, we struck a bargain. I would become the super efficient energy factory, and in return, the larger cell would give me protection and nutrients. And that ancient deal, that's the reason why, to this day, I still carry my very own set of DNA completely separate from the cell's nucleus. You see, I wasn't just absorbed. I became a permanent, essential part of the family. Okay, so let's talk about that famous job of mine, energy. Every single thing your body does, from thinking a thought to lifting a finger, requires it. And, well, that's where I come in. So what is my day-to-day work inside your cells? Let's break down how I turn your last meal into the fuel that keeps you alive. Just think of me as a sophisticated power plant. First, the raw fuel, that's the glucose and fats from your food, plus the oxygen you breathe, it all gets delivered to me. Then, through a series of amazing chemical reactions called cellular respiration, I convert that fuel into the final product, pure, usable energy. And that energy comes in a very specific form, a molecule called ATP. You can think of ATP as literal cash for your cells. Every single cellular transaction has to be paid for with ATP. Without it, everything just grinds to a halt. It's really that simple. No ATP, no life. Period. And I'm perfectly built for this job. My inner membrane isn't just some simple wall. It's folded into this complex maze. Why? Well, it's to create as much surface area as possible for cranking out that ATP. In my world, efficiency is everything. So we've covered the powerhouse part, but like I said, that's just the beginning. My responsibilities go far beyond just making energy.
I'm also a key decision maker. I help decide when a damaged cell needs to self-destruct to protect the whole body. I help regulate your body heat, I control your metabolism, and I play a massive role in the aging process, your brain function, and even your immune system. From head to toe, I'm involved in pretty much everything.
So here's the crucial point. My health is your health. And if I start to malfunction, the very first thing that happens is that the individual cells I live in begin to suffer. And that problem scales up fast. Because your tissues, your muscles, your nerves, your organs, they're all just collections of cells. So when enough of those cells are suffering, the entire tissue starts to fail. And this is the final step in that chain reaction. When tissues fail, disease begins. So many chronic conditions are linked directly back to my health. That's just how critical my role is. And your body knows this. It's incredibly smart about allocating resources. A skin cell doesn't need a ton of energy, so it has fewer of me. But a muscle cell or a neuron in your brain, whoa, they are packed with thousands of me because their energy demand is absolutely enormous. This brings us to a very personal topic. My well-being is directly tied to your lifestyle. The choices you make every single day have a profound effect on me, your microscopic engineer. I'm talking about things like chronic stress, not getting enough sleep, a diet full of processed foods, and exposure to environmental toxins. All of these things are like throwing sand in my gears. They damage me and reduce my ability to function properly. And when I get damaged, you feel it. Your energy levels plummet and you feel fatigued. Your cells actually age more quickly. And on a larger scale, this damage is directly linked to major health issues, everything from metabolic disorders to neurodegenerative diseases. So after hearing all of this, I really hope you see me in a new light. It's time to remember my full story and the complete role I play in your existence. I'm not just a powerhouse. I am an ancient survivor of a primordial world. I am the microscopic engineer that fuels every single action you take. And I am a life-sustaining decision maker, managing the health of your cells from the inside out. So, from now on, when you hear that old phrase, you can just smile, because you'll know the truth. You'll know about the ancient deal, the life and death decisions, and the incredible, complex story of the engineer living inside of you.